Hey there, welcome to CodeChef. Today we're going to be discussing the project Digital Clock and Countdown Timer from our course Projects for Beginners in C. So let's begin. So we're going to be building a simple digital clock and countdown timer. That is, we're going to take input from the user as to what they want to see. And if it's digital clock, we're going to display the current time, which is going to be updated every second in the same line. And if it's countdown timer, then we're going to count down from a time given by the user. So let's look at the flow for this particular project. So this project has to accept input from the user and whether the user wants to display the digital clock or countdown timer. And if user selects digital clock, as I told previously, we're going to print out the current time, and the current time will be updated every second in the same line. And if the user selects countdown timer, we will ask the user to give a countdown target time from which he should count down from, and then we're going to be displaying the time remaining for each second. Once the countdown is complete, we're going to exit the countdown to the display message. Now in the first subtask, the digital clock and countdown timer project, we're going to be taking the input from the user. That is, we need to update the user choice function, and the project should accept either the choice of 1 or 2. That is 1 for digital clock and 2 for countdown timer. And if input is 2, then we should ask the user to give the number of seconds to count down from. And if user gives anything else as an input, then we're going to print out invalid choice. So let's look at the code. So first we are declaring the digital clock function, countdown timer function and the user choice function. So first in the digital clock function, we're going to be printing out digital clock is displayed. And in the countdown timer function, we're going to print out counting down time from %d seconds. That is, we'll be basically printing out the number of seconds we are counting down from. So right now we have just given placeholders for these particular functions to show that we are able to validate the input and redirect the user based on the input given by the user. Coming to the user choice function, so we're going to take choice as an input, and if strcmp choice, 1 equal to 0. So what does this mean? So basically strcmp is going to compare two strings given inside the brackets, that is choice and 1, and if they both are equal, then it's going to give out an output of 0. So that is, if choice is equal to 1, then we're going to redirect the user to the digital clock function. And else if choice is equal to 2, then we're going to ask the user to give input for number of seconds to count down from, then we're going to take input from the user, and finally we're going to redirect it to the countdown timer function. And if any other input is given, we're going to print out invalid choice. Coming to the main function, I'm going to run an infinite loop using while 1, and I'm going to create an array called choice, which is of size 10, and then we're going to ask the user to give an option, either 1 or 2. Based on that, we're going to pass on that to the user choice function. Let's just run this code once. So let me give digital clock. So we have gotten a printout message, digital clock is displayed. That means we have been successfully redirected to the digital clock function. Let me just submit this code once. So I passed all 3 test cases. Let's move on to the next subtask.